Okay, so you obviously clicked on this video because you are currently vaping or smoking cigarettes or doing something that you know is bad for you, but you continue to do anyway. Now, yes, everybody knows that it causes cancer. You're gonna have a lot of problems with emphysema, trouble breathing. But what about the psychological effects that nicotine has on your brain? Nicotine does is essentially is a dopamine hit to your brain every time you hit it. The first time you did it, your brain got super, super happy and you got almost this euphoric feeling, and that's kind of just how nicotine works. That's what dopamine is. It's the pleasure drug that's released in your brain. What ends up happening with dopamine is it almost gets to be to the point of it's too much because the nicotine just like so things around you are less pleasurable. Food doesn't really taste as good. That's why they say your taste buds goes bad, and just all around you're just going to be a more lazy person. These are just some of the things that nicotine does to you aside from all the physical effects. I was a 2-pack-a-day cigarette smoker for 5 years. I started out vaping and I actually transitioned into cigarettes. So if you're actually half serious about quitting and wanting to go down this path, I highly suggest you do some prep work. First things first, tell friends and loved ones that you're trying to do this because you don't want to do this alone. It's something that you have to do with somebody. The first time I quit, I told my friends that I don't want to smoke. If I don't hang out with you, it's because I don't want to be around you, because a lot of the people that I was hanging out with at the time were smoking, and that's the last thing that you want to be around. You also want to warn them, you're going to be fucking irritable. Like, I mean real fucking irritable. Like, you're going to be an asshole to people. The littlest thing is going to piss you off. Trust me on that. Buy some gum. Gum always helps. And get ready to eat a shit ton of food. Remember how we talked about pleasure and dopamine before? Your body's going to want to replace that pleasure. The next best thing aside from nicotine is going to be food. The first time I quit, I was actually eating between 5 and 6 times a day, which is not my normal. You know, I normally eat 2, maybe 3 times a day. I don't really do breakfast, but I was more hungry and I was eating shittier food because I had a craving like every 5 fucking minutes. The first day is going to be the worst of it, but if you can get through that, you're gonna be able to get through anything. You get to day 3, you officially passed the hardest part. This is where most people crack and they're unable to actually do anything and they just go back to smoking nicotine like everybody else. In my experience though, since it did take me like 3 or 4 times to quit, the 3rd day was the hardest, and after I got through that 3rd day, I started feeling a little bit better. The thing with day 3 though is that this is kind of where the insomnia is going to kick in. For some reason, I actually don't know scientifically why, you can probably look it up, but when you quit, you are going to have a lot of trouble sleeping. There might be a couple of nights that you're not going to be able to sleep because you're craving it, but you just have to continue to push through. I'm going to be dead honest with you guys, you're going to get tired and it's not gonna be a good feeling. You're gonna have chest pains, your throat is gonna hurt. These are just some of the things that you're gonna experience. Just understand that it's totally normal and just keep going. I promise you, it gets better on the other side. Mindset is everything when it comes to quitting, and I mean that so seriously. Your surroundings and your environment will determine your ability to actually do this and quit nicotine full time. So when I quit, I stopped talking to a lot of people just for the time being. I went back talking to my friends now that I can control myself. When I first quit, I stopped talking to anybody and everybody that was either hitting a Juul, a PAX, whatever the fuck it's called. Anybody that had anything to do with nicotine, I was not hanging out with them just for the first few weeks. And I'm gonna tell you why. When you go through a craving, just the mere smell of a vape or a cigarette will trigger you to automatically want to smoke. And I also recommend you don't drink either. Even though I've already quit, I will occasionally smoke a cigarette when I am drunk, and that's why I've eased back on my drinking a lot, because for some reason, every time that I drink, I want to smoke a cigarette, and it's just not good. So, tone back on the drinking, tone back on the hanging out with friends. This is a time for you to kind of be by yourself and be around people that are only gonna help you through the process. If your friends are gonna fuck with you, start smoking around you, don't be around them. You have to commit yourself to this, and if you really wanna do it, you will, and sometimes that means you gotta stop hanging out with people that are making you do bad choices. Putting yourself in that environment, you're giving yourself the opportunity to take advantage of that bad choice. Some tips that you're actually gonna wanna follow when you quit is you're gonna wanna start hanging around people that are gonna be genuinely good for you. Guys, environment is everything when it comes to quitting a bad habit. You need to change your environment. I can't stress that enough. Change your motherfucking environment. Quitting was the best thing that ever happened to me. I can run, I can do whatever the fuck I want now, and I'm truly thankful for it. So keep all that in mind. Please like and subscribe to this video, and more videos like this to come. This was my first video, so I hope you guys enjoyed it.